Hey everyone. All right, I was asked how I got my Z axis perpendicular to the bed, what adjustments I had, what I had to make. This has been a while. It's been over a year for sure. And it was, my learning curve was a pain in the butt. You may not have to go through what I went through. Hopefully this video will help you prevent some of that. But I learned a lot from others out here. I'm going to try to return the favor when I can. All right, so let me first tell you why it is that I needed a Z. Now, all the other machines, or the machines I had before this, I had an Orter and a couple others that ran off my CNC. And, the CNC had a Z on it. And then I went over to the Orter and I missed that Z. But I use a Z. Here's the stuff I make. I laser the top of the product. And then I also go down, and these are half-inch deep pockets, and I shoot my logo in there. So before that was like a two-step process. I had to run them through to do the tops, and then I would shim to bring it up so I could shoot in focus into the bottom of the pocket, okay? So that's what I do with the Z. All right, but now that I've got the Neje, so this is a Max 4. And I was out of kilter, out of perpendicular on two axes, you know, the front to back and the left to right. So the front to back, which is where the bottom of the module was out a little bit, I guess was too far that way. I had to bring it this way. So what I did was I wound up shimming between the mount for the Z-rail and the mounting block that runs on the Y, X rail. Anyway, so you see that little aluminum? It's aluminum foil. It's folded over. I believe I had to tuck it up underneath a screw. That's why it's so short, shall we say. That runs all the way through from that side over to that side, and you can see it there. So that was one thing I had to do, and that solved that. And of course, I had to go through it a couple times to get the thickness right as much as I could, as best I could. And then the other, of course, is it was off that way. I hope I didn't just make someone seasick. So what I had to do, let me go ahead and try to do this one-handed. Disconnect, employ the other finger here. Disconnect this air line, there we go. And unplug the module from the top. 1, 2, get that stuff kind of out of the way back there. And then carefully, I'm going to loosen these thumb screws. I'm going to put my finger up under here because I don't want this thing slamming down into the table. It's not that heavy, but still. So I undid those two, or loosened those two, and we're going to pull this out. I marked with a pencil right here so that I know I'm going to be back in focus, and that will go right up against, line it up with the top of the mount here. Okay, so as Brad had asked me earlier, did I loosen these screws on the mounting plate? And I believe that's what I did, buddy. Now again, let me turn the flash on, see if that helps any. Yeah. So that's those 4 screws, and I believe I did have to detach that. But you know what? I'm telling you, it's been so long, I can't remember. That really, I believe, obviously, this block is not bolted to this block. I think all those 4 screws do is attach this to this. Because this wouldn't be screwed. This is what goes up and down, right? So that wouldn't work. And so your screws are here between the black and the green piece here. And that's the one that you're going to have to adjust to get it to do this, and also to get that shim in there, right? So I'm not sure. I can drop this a little bit. I cannot recall. I can turn this in my hand. This, I don't think it's going to, yeah, that's not going to work. I can't recall whether or not, how I got to the screws there. And I don't know if it's behind the linear rail. Oh, there they are. There they are. Aha. So how many are there then? Are there? Got to be 4. Let me go further down. Now, let's see if I can get it. Am I bottomed out? Not yet. It's getting a little tougher to turn. Well, there you go, guys. There you go. All right. So, see those 4? I wound up taking apart way more than I had to. I had taken these off, and I took this off, and then this was flopping around all over the place, and I lost the little ball bearings inside the linear rail. It was a nightmare, man. Anyway, but just for fun, though, you probably don't have to do it now because hopefully I'm preventing you from making the same mistake I made. But put a towel down here under in case, a little screw doesn't bounce off onto the floor somewhere and get lost or something. Anyway, so that's it. Those are the 4. Undo those, and that'll get you your, I'm getting you seasick, your left to right and your